I've been going to Townhead Church since I was 6. Like 90% of the kids in Go Foot we were sent on the minibus by our parents to the Townhead Sunday School so they could get a couple of hours peace and quiet. I loved going to the Sunday School, and the highlight of my year was going to the Sunday School camps every year. It was at one of these camps where I asked God to forgive me for the wrong things I had done and asked him to come into my life. I'd like to say that there and then I stopped doing all the wrong things that I was doing and became a perfect child. That's not true. As anyone who knows me as a child will tell you, I was a bit of a nightmare of a kid. I was cheeky and just answered back and just wasn't the best of behaved children. It wasn't until my teen years where I started to live for God a bit more, and it was while I was with my friends from the church that I would be living a good Christian life. But when I was at home with my mum and dad, I would be cheeky to them and answer back and just be the usual teenager. And it was one time I realised I preferred the Katie who I was when I was around my church friends. So I decided to try and become that Katie at home around my parents and family as well. It didn't happen straight away, but God gradually worked in my life and helped me to live a bit more for him. In 2012 I became a foster carer to a wee boy and then another wee boy, so there were 2 wee boys under the age of 2, and it was hard work, and I did that for a year and a half. And then unfortunately I had to give it up due to my mental health. I suffered from really bad depression at this time, and I ended up taking an overdose and was in hospital for 10 weeks. During that time in hospital and for the next few years I really struggled, and I prayed a lot during that time, and I asked God to fulfil his promises to me, and some of those promises that he would never leave me. And although I didn't always feel that he was with me, I knew that he promised that he would be with me, and he never fails to fulfill a promise. And one of my favourite verses in the Bible, and one of the promises that I ask God to fulfill a lot, is from Jeremiah, and it's, I know the plans I have for you, plans for you to prosper and plans not to harm you. And at that time I sometimes didn't see that the plans were for me to prosper, but since then my life has prospered so much. I have met my husband and we got married, and we have a beautiful wee baby boy just a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't be happier, and I owe it all up to God.
This is my testimony from death to life, 'cause reaching all my story I'll testify, by Jesus Christ the righteous I'm justified. This is my testimony, this is my testimony.